Okay, so we just updated the 15-minute chart, and we're looking at the 15-minute chart through the lens of the time, cordoning off the time. It's like Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze from Batman, where the guy's got these blocks that he's inside. So these are my time zone segregators, because time matters in this fucking thing. And I'd be buying here at the market, but I'm in on limits right now. And this is my trade that I do all the time. And the only flaw in this trade is not scalping something, because you just never know. So you have to do that. And you're looking to swing trade it, but very small compared to your scalps. If you're going to pull the trigger, if you look at the 5-minute chart and you're ready to pull the trigger, literally right on the clock, this is a punch-in deal. This is the only problem with trading like that, right at the market. Now I get it. This is the way to do it. If you're trading really big, because you have to take stuff off. Like, you got to make 100, you got to make 500, you got to make 100, you got to make 500. So you got enough money that you could just go into some small positions in a swing trade and make the same kind of money, probably per week. Now, if you're going to sit here and babysit the market, and you're going to ride every kind of little baby sell-offs and rallies that are kind of short-lived, and they're clipped into the zone, the sweet spot. And the psychosis lately in the euro, because of look at the weekly chart, you're down here at the bottom of this insane retest. So when you fix the scale, you see that there's only about 500 pips of range on the screen there. And this perspective, to me, is better than market profile, because you're just looking at the sheer prices for how much you can afford to trade. So if you're going to lift $50 on a trade, you buy a 1K and you put a 500 pip stop in there, and you just go, dude, it's cheaper than some of these bitcoins have gone past. Look at 100,000 on Bitcoin. Real psychological handle there. And certainly, I'm not the kind of person to ride it up for that trade, because I would just as soon go into the euro dollar and trade nonsense, pure noise, high probability noise. And really, the Bitcoin, the problem is the spread. I don't think you can scalp it. So it's fascinating, and gold's going up, but this is just a spillover of inflationary pressure. I figure that if it becomes that people agree that the fair value is, with enough traders trading over a period of time, it's going to end up just dead in the water. For a person that thought, well, it's going to go to 200,000 a Bitcoin, I don't know. That might be pushing the edge of psychological madness, in the sense that I didn't think that I was going to see the backlash against these big media networks, how they're just getting clobbered, because people are like, okay, dude, I get that you were putting on this show to bullshit people, but when the show's over, they already invited these goofballs to I guess they invited themselves to Trump's house, and they're like, yeah, hey, we're just kidding, man. It's just a gig. Sorry. Okay. I guess so. Okay, we're coming up on the infamous 5-minute update on the 5-minute chart, so we'll drop down to the 5-minute chart. And you can do these things where you interlock the 5-minute chart with the 15, with the half hour, and I've done all that. But in the end, it's about how deep is the market. So right now, the market's currently fucking so deep that this is the daily chart, which means you got about a year on this thing. And every dotted line represents a month. And it's quite, look at this. Now, No offense to anybody that uses a moving average. Some guy commented on the thing. It's funny that people, they usually have the most abstract, obtuse fucking, it just says forex. I'm not trying to, I guess I'm trying to be objective. So that's my goal, to be objective and to see it like it is. And the moving average thing is like putting on the it's like having a couple beers, right? Hey, that sounds pretty good. Let's have a couple beers. And after a couple beers, you're like, hey, we should get a couple of hookers over here. Hey, anybody that has any of that marching powder or what is it, devil's dandruff? Get some of that over here too. In fact, turn up the stereo. Yeah, let's just see to get the police over here pretty soon. So one thing leads to another. There's a song about that. And so here we are, you look at these moves over here. Now, if you're waiting for an entry, I can only imagine how the punishment level must be here, but let's say you decided that after you back tested the shit out of your program, your trend trading program, you said crack it open here in this I'll pick this perfect structure here from the standpoint of this topic I'm about here before it slams down. This closing price is only though on the white line, but the rest of the story is, of course, a whole other story of brutality for the guy that is in a trade that kind of made sense to him. He's like, okay, I can draw a trend line here. What I'll do is I just wait for the market to come back to the third touch of that trend line because I've already drawn my trend line off of here. It's a perfect entry. It's probably some 618 bullshit from like, say, here to here. That's like a 50% pullback. Let's see. Maybe moving averages are starting to turn up here. And but then, how big is this trade? Is this like a standard lot? Is this 3 standard lots? And like, where are you getting out? Are you going to take your first 50, your first 100 pips, get the fuck out, realizing that you're coming into, maybe you don't realize, but you're coming into this trap zone here where, yeah, you haven't been up here in a while, so when you come up here, it's like, woohoo! I mean, people's like lit up, and then it comes slam mashing down here, and this is the daily chart. So now, meanwhile, Fred across the street, I don't know how he has the patience. I guess when you get older, you don't have any patience left because you're like, dude, I only got so much time, so get the fuck out of my way. I was at the grocery store today. I don't know why I go there. I guess for the exercise of seeing how not to get pissed off. Like I must say trading is frustrating, but it's not. I'm not angry about it. I'm just frustrated. It's like I'm impatient. When is this fucking market going to turn around? Jesus fucking Christ, really? How far is that bitch going to drop? Now, if you look at just slice of life here, you don't even know what's north. On this chart, you can't see anything. This is a true examination of price action. This is real price action. But when I look at stuff like this, now if this was a 1 hour chart, it'd be different, right? Because the trade would be over. This is a 1 hour chart. This would be, instead of a month, this would be a day. Each one of these is a day. So you'd be like, oh, dude, anything below here, like I'm buying. Like on the 1 hour chart, the 1 hour robot would just jump on that. He'd be like, dude, you're down like how much? Okay, let's buy one at the market. Buy one at the market. That's the dumbest, easiest fucking trade. Now, you may say, well, why don't you just buy this one down here? Well, I mean, that's not my style. I'm buying all the way down. Like, I'm just totally in, right? It's like if the really hot girl at the coffee shop, and she goes, yeah, I need a shoulder to cry on. I just shot my boyfriend. I'm like, come right over here, babe. Let's go and let's figure out, let's pick the they got password on the bathroom in Starbucks now. A code. You're going to type in a code. That has to be retinal scan. But thank God that Trump's in office. We get this fucking, it does like a gender scan. Sorry, you are still a dude. Can't come in this one. They have the unisex bathrooms at the Starbucks, but thank God this motherfucker won. Who wasn't just like going, are they going to fucking steal that again? And, wow, that would be fucking so, I mean, I would really be, concerned about how people would react to that. So here we are, and the euro is just getting destroyed by the dollar. And you can certainly make the argument that this bottom here, carried forward. You're waiting a long time for this trade, by the way. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to break out, like take out this low, and then when it comes back here and top becomes a bottom, it's like everybody's like, oh yeah, that could be a real breakout. Holy shit, let's go short. Going, yep, something's not right about this. This is just dead cat bounce. It looks like a dead cat. Wait, how do you know if it's a dead cat? Some of these dead cats. Here's a perfect bottom become a top on the daily, but like I said, if you don't take your first 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 pips, then you're just greedy. What's the old thing? Hogs get slaughtered. In this view now, I know people want to zoom that out immediately when they look at this chart. They're like, I can't even. Even if you had moving averages on here, it'd just leave you like, well, what did it do back here? And then what's the story back there? That order block, supposed order block, which is just the biggest fucking myth in the world. Think about it. People are coming in and out of this market. People you don't even know. Banks that have robots pulling the trigger, and there's people pulling the trigger. And this is over the counter prices in this euro, and I guess so is Bitcoin. It's over the counter. The regulation of the stock market, they want to have a 24-hour stock market now. I said it's so cute. After Dodd-Frank was there, we'll just make it so it's illegal to do forex. But here's what we'll do. Now they want to be like us. 24-hour stocks, isn't that cute? I saw that on my news feed. I usually don't see shit, but this thing pops up. I don't know where the fuck I saw it. And I said, oh boy, here we go. Right? But the yen's out of control. That fucking yen dropped today. It's fucking outrageous. So people just, it's kind of sad. People jump into this forex thing, and yeah, you got the ass clown there going, yeah, you can make this and that. Yeah, you could. You could also blow up your fucking account. So don't be ridiculous, right? But that's why you trade demo. That's why I got flight simulators. What the fuck? Who's jumping into this jacuzzi without some protection? But it's fun. So you're going to lose money, and you're going to make money, and it's very fast. It's very fast, and it's very. So the reason why I would never trade a single large position is because I can't do it. It's just too dangerous. Plus, it's too much pressure. So what I do is I just drop a grid of tickets. So just buy on limits. If you buy on limits only, then it's a real trade. It's a real planned out trade. If you trade at the market, you're saying, well, I'm going to babysit the 5-minute chart here. I'm going to go 15. Okay, we're about to update the half-hour chart. Should I buy anything in the half-hour? Well, I wouldn't buy it now. I wouldn't buy it now because I only buy if it's down. So my buy was down here, but I got on limits. It might drop lower. So tonight, here's the thing. It could keep dropping, but I'm going to go to sleep, right? So I got orders that come in like this all the way down tonight. These are 8-hour tickets. So I got a big fucking bank in there. Now, when the market comes slamming back, it's just, you're not going to get a perfect trade. So if your thing is, and this is what I do, is I want to buy below here. Give me everything below here, and when it slams down really hard, buy me a lot. Like I'd be buying, I know I'd be buying to the end of the day here, like you can't fucking believe, right? If I don't have my 10, 20 pip targets, so I have to take this 10, 20 pips, and it goes down lower, so I'd be buying all the way down here, and this one is going to cost me more money, but I'll make more money. So if I put a 50 pip stop on this ticket, and buy every 10 pips with a 50 pip stop, how much is that? Okay, then I'm going to start buying every 5 pips here. So it's very dense orders, but they'll be denser. So when I buy below here, I only get filled on 20 pips, but I'm ready to buy all the way to this buy zone or this old price, slot. So I'm always ready to do that trade. Now, if I'm looking at the half hour and I'm like, what do I do right now? So this thing's walking down. I suppose if I wanted to draw a trend line here and make the argument, well, I'm just waiting for, I'm going to accumulate I'm gonna say I'm gonna accumulate everything below this thing, and I'm gonna buy because I think we're going up. Now that's just a guess, I have to say. And this Asian session is in a 20 pip window, 25. So it looks like a great trade like that. And when it starts getting above here, I got to get out. Unless I'm going to start selling here, which is the other option, is fuck the trend and just say I sell above here, I sell above the U.S. session or the high of the day. But no, maybe U.S. session because it never made the high of the day here. It took out U.S. session, ripped back. You could have cashed out, then it ripped. If you sell above this, you just nick the wick as you really can't. You would never get filled on that. So you really have to go for the high of the previous day. You got to sell into this, which is really difficult. I understand. If you put sell limits up here, which is extra difficult for me, the scalp is to the where it broke out. It actually goes and starts heading all the way down and trying to go after the low of the day here. I mean, it's making a run. And this is crazy, right? And most people aren't going to hold on. I'm not going to. I'm going to take half of the position off in this window when it comes back to here. The rest of that, maybe to here. But I'm already thinking about this lonely wick here. I'm going to buy that. And not maybe a great fill, but that's why I'm pretty much going to be buying like 10 to 50 pips deep all the time. All the time, just in case. So even here, I'm like, oh, you know, anything below here, let's start buying. Well, it gets pretty hairy, and you only make 30 pips on the bounce. Then you think, well, I'll do the same thing here, but then they would maybe blow out that bank. That's why I have so many tickets in there. Because they blow out that bank, then you just go for the next bank. But you have to. It's a little bit like territory here. You're trying to cover with. You're putting landmines in, but you got to space them 20 feet apart instead of 5, and you got to put in. There's a certain size to the explosion. You don't want to blow up the whole fucking field and trigger the other fucking mines. So it's very battleship, I guess. Whatever metaphor you need to get your brain around it, but it's a lot of money because it's a lot of noise you're trading. For the guy that's looking at the daily close, this half-hour chart's a fucking train wreck. But since I've got the European session in blue, you can get your brain around it, right? If you just trade the breakouts of here, which is a completely legitimate style as the breakout trade. You only trade breakouts that are 20 to 30 pips of Asia. So you put sell stops here, you put buy stops here, and you get filled. I got it. You can do that trade. I just can't. Because it's like if I put a buy stop here and a sell stop here, well, if I didn't take profits on the sell stop, I'm going to get crushed back to here. And then they're going to fill this one if I just I'm assuming 1 day expiration on the stops, right? At least past at least 8 hours. So you get filled on both legs, you get stopped out. You're like, oh, that's fucking ridiculous. I'd rather buy the plunge outside of Asia and trade it back to the floor of the plunge, and maybe it engulfs. And then here it's caught in fair value, this is all fair value because this is where it's been. But these patterns are created by the volatility. So it's the same fractal, right? It's just like, okay, well, this is the breakout. They trap you. Okay, then they rip you, but look at how deep this is. Of course, don't forget this is a 1 year low being hit here. As soon as you take that out this, it's like psycho land, right? And then you retrace. This is Friday's close. This is opening Sunday. So I was in this trade, and not very big because they stopped me out. So, but back to where I was, and then above here, people were like, holy shit, let's get out, right? This is a big deal. This, and then slam down here. So now it's kind of quieted down here, and I still want this to come down like this and fill my tickets. So the size of the trade is determined by how vicious this market's going to collapse in the next 8 hours. If I don't pull the trigger at the market. Now, if this does drop below Asian session, it starts to come down here, and I don't think I've got enough limits in. And I go, wow, that's not enough. And I wake up and I'm like, holy shit, we're going after this, you know, because these are 8 hours. So I'm prepared to buy this all over again, all the way down. Then I'll do that. So the putting a buy stop here and a sell stop there, I really wouldn't do it because it's not a breakup. But look how that worked out. So you can't have these systems where people say, oh, well, you know, look at this, put a buy stop here, look at all the money you made. Did you get the fuck out? Because if you didn't, it came all the way back to the fucking starting gate. It's so ridiculous when these people talk about entering the market and there's no exit. Like, where's your fucking exit? It's got to be, and for me, it's going to be a cluster of tickets. There's no fucking way I think I'm right about this. So the more I looked at the market and realized, well, you know, what happens when the market goes off the rails and it's down 300 pips? Now, this no nonsense dick will tell you, well, didn't you check the, what is it called? The, oh God, the ATR reported average? Whatever, the weekly ATR, like the last 7 days of range. What's that? Dude, that doesn't tell you that it's not going to go off the fucking rails. Like, go look at the 2016 election. Take a look at the currencies, how they traded that night. If you could get that, the history of that, you see something, you can't believe it. Right? I couldn't believe it myself. I couldn't even trade it on down. You couldn't trade, like, you'd be like, oh, I think I just made $80, and then poof, it was gone. Because it was so psychotic, the volatility. It was just radioactive. You couldn't do it. I mean, not profitably. You could trade it, but you couldn't really. If you just kept up that same idea that you just used a minute ago, I don't think it would work because the market was changing every. I just think of like The Exorcist. It was like that. Like this chick was like, her head was spinning around. The market was just, you couldn't do it. Okay, you wanted to though, because you're like, look at all this price action. I can't. Is there a trade plan for this? No, don't have one. So I decided I'll just sit on the sidelines with my limit orders, and if need be, I'll get in at the market. If I think it's so dead, I'll be like, okay, dude, we're not really selling off here, but prepare for the worst, and then whatever happens. So this one here, like you go Asian session, it's quiet, right? This is coming into Sunday night. So it's Sunday night, and if you're gonna buy below here, this is gonna be the best fucking trade ever. And you gotta have a 30 pip stop. You got I'd say 2 standard lots in here. You're basically buying every pip. And maybe you got a 40 pip stop, a 30 pip stop, whatever. You get stopped out of a couple. You got 10 pip stops. I mean, I don't think I'd ever run a 10 pip stop. So I like to run 30 and 20 as the tightest. I'll put a 50 pip stop in to make 100. So I got one in here, buy at the market. 50 pips to make 100, you know. And I will pull the trigger on that quite often as the market's plunging, especially in the euro. Like if I see this plunging, I'm buying actually with that market order. I'm just like going boom, 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 boom. So what keeps me from oversizing it a little bit is that I can pace myself and just buy every 10 seconds it's dropping. But once it gets below there and I'm not in a big enough position, I'll be like, holy shit. And I'll just buy the fuck out of that. Now that's right into Asian Open. And that was pretty hairy, coming right back to the top of the U.S. market from Friday. So quite the fucking first giant pullback on the euro. Then we make it all the way back to we made it back to the floor here. A lot of people cashed out in the back here. So this whole thing is pretty abnormal for the euro. It's pretty schizoid. It does happen when it falls into these abysses. But now the trading is actually a little more tame, because I can go to sleep tonight, have my buy limits in these pockets. It just so happens that's where they look like they're at. But I just dropped them because I wanted to put more down here. And some of these have 10 pip targets. So when the market comes down, it's going to trip the wire. It's going to bounce. It's trip the wire, bounce. So those are my 10 pip winners that are all built into this array of shit. But I've also got greedy tickets down here. I got 20 pip stop to make 60. I got, so the stops here, the targets here. It's all interlaced crap in here. But it's all hand placed. I made a pretty drag a rack over there. So right now, this is a pending, about 4 standard lots pending for 8 hours into the night. And that's how I decided to do it, because there's no fucking way. I'm waiting for a goddamn, I'm not going to, I saw some guy talking about trend trading it. I get it. Like it's going down, so the bigger moves are down. But are they really? If you're willing to go underwater by 150 pips, which is maybe $15 per ticket, you'd be like, I'm buying all this shit. And when it comes back to here, you're like, dude, I just raked all those fucking pips. I bought down here. I'm buying another 50K. I'm in so fucking big. And rinse and repeat, right? Do the same trade plan. Oh, this is fucking next time it drops. I just go to sleep, put the orders in. Okay, just buy that, dump it, buy, dump, buy, dump. So you just buy, sell. I suppose if you're going to sit there and wait for the clouds to align, you're like, yeah, do it, Drudge. I mean, there was a guy out of Canada, and I don't know, honestly. I didn't want to say anything at the time. He's on a stream from a long time ago. And I just, maybe there are people like this out there. If this guy has patience, if he really said what he was doing, drew a trend line. He's like waiting for it to come back there and pull the trigger and shit. And I was like, okay, I guess you could. How in the fuck did you find the patience for that? And what do you feel like when you get stopped out of that trade? I think he was in these giant positions. He was waiting for all the stars to align. And I don't even have a telescope, so I was like, dude, can't we just fucking shotgun this shit? See, my view of the world is, trading's easy in the sense that if you put a bunch of tickets out there, some of them are going to be right. So you never be wrong. And you're never 100% though. And that's the problem, is that people want to be consistent. But I consistently, trading. Not always making money, but the drawdown. So the swing trade is a different mindset. Got this big fucking hairy, if you don't want to get stopped out. So the scalpers are, I suppose that means you're going to get stopped out. Because you're like, dude, I just want a little bit. If it doesn't go my way, I want out, right? And so trying to scalp it with a 100 pip stop to make 10 pips is just, I know you can do it, high probability of winning, but when it goes against you, like if you can't see the abyss, the danger in the void, the fresh prices, new highs and new lows, to me are a window of entry, but this also, the goobers are crushing it into the void. I mean, Bitcoin went into, gold went into the void by $500. So I consider unfair value, or irrational value. Of course, it could just keep going up. Because we don't know how insane people can become, right? You see stuff, as you look back, you say, well, how the fuck did these people end up with, and I just can't believe that I even saw people do this, but in the grocery store, they had this, you could only walk one direction with a mask on. So they had like the flow of this virus apparently has this, chases people around the store. They can't catch you if you change direction every aisle. I mean, I guess they don't want you to kick up dust. If you're going to come into the store, we don't want you kicking up dust. Like some laggy moving average behind you. What are you waiting for? There's this guy we made fun of. Unfortunately, he died of cancer. But this guy on this thing out of Barcelona, he's trading thing, FX Street. Does anybody remember FX Street? I don't know if it's still there, but met a lot of people there. And this one guy, he had this MACD stuff, and he had these balls, and they would turn color, and when it turns to color, we got to trade, buddy. Hey, everybody, we got to trade. I called Joe. He came over here across the street. He's showing me his moving average system. I said, that's pretty good, but let me show you my, I'm using the MACD. Yeah, it's convergence, divergence stuff. It's a little, it's kind of highbrow shit, but that's what the pros are using. They're also using that 21 EMA, I heard. I don't know what people think. The guy that commented recently about, I use the so-and-so system. I love it. Bless your heart. I don't know how you do it. Wait for a setup. What do you do in the meantime? I feed the dog. I garden and shit. Waiting for him. Come back. I check the computer once a day, end of day. I used to do that. At the end of the day, I'm like, hey, look at this thing. Hey, Mildred, what do you think of this trade? I don't know. Let me check the newspaper, see how it's doing. I actually did that. I was in soybean trade, and I was like, let me check the paper, see how it's doing. Fucking nuts. I had to stop in the market, though. Thank God. Oh, man, that was crazy. I can't believe it. I was trading pork bellies. I was like, dude, this fucking, you want to limit moves? I mean, limit up, limit down, not like limit entry, like fucking, you just blow up the whole account. You end up owing the brokerage firm money. It's tough. Tough sledding on that one. Don't ever want to do that. You're better off trading fucking, was it Dogecoin? I thought it was 37 cents. I don't know. How much is this shit going for? You got to get the latest, greatest coin. That's what I'm into. It's like penny stocks, really. It's beautiful. The penny stocks don't really say they make any money. It's just an idea. People are selling an idea, and people get excited about it. It's like perfume. Why does this shit cost $80? I mean, can't you just take a shower? I don't get it. I don't know if you've ever been places where people are wearing so much cologne. I'm like, did you spill that shit? What do you fucking, somebody shoot you while you were putting it on? Like blow the thing up hard on you? What the hell happened? So the yen's been a tear today. Did anybody buy the plunge on that yen? So I couldn't buy the whole thing. I just bought it on limits. I was like, get out of the way. Like, so if you're not on the yen train, and I'm not really used to this, the difference between the yen and the euro, it's still kind of dicey. So if you want to jump in this one, you'd be like, all right, let me take a look at that 1 hour chart on that yen. Now look at this collapse into the void, and you have to say, wow, what was I? See, here's a trade. That's the only yen trade I think I did on this computer was right here. So this is a perfect trade in a sense. I mean, right? And I hand placed these because I'm like, let's just put some tickets in the void. Now, I don't think they ever got filled because my tickets don't last more than a day. 8 hours. So if I put this rack in here, like here was the stop for all these tickets, and here was the fill, and then it comes ripping up, and then it cashes out right here, and that's about it. It's a break-even trade. And all it's going to do is buy this whole thing, and it's going to cash out. Now, why I have the expiration like that? Because if I buy this plunge, right, and cash out, if I buy this plunge, it'd be like, holy shit. Now, this was profound because it finally came to here. I'd rather wait for that trade than... But if you're a trend trader, I get it. You're going to sell every fucking rally. Here's a top become a bottom. It's going down, right? It's a perfect trade. You can wait for that trade. You know, honestly, that trade does exist. I don't have to back test it to see, oh yeah, you know, let's wait for the breakout here in the first rally into the floor. Let's fucking load the wagon because we're going to hell. And how do you know you're going to hell? Because when you dip into the well, into the abyss here, right, this is a big, look at how the wicks are just brutal here. That's a 1 hour chart, which means we retested that like over and over. The 5 minute chart just looks like a fucking train wreck there. Just like this. See all that shit? That's because as soon as you took this out, people are like, holy fuck. But bam, 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 bam. Then it comes ripping. Now that's a great fucking scalp, in my opinion. No moving average needed, right? This is what ICT is. Look at this. Oh, liquidity. Duh. Dude, I mean, what this fucking ass clown. And then they got this fucking chick I subscribe to. You know, the mindful trader chick, the spiritual trader chick, that's the one on the boat. The one on the trading on a boat. And like, look at this. I know. Duh. ICT concepts. It's just auction theory, dude. It's been around for a long time. Look at this. House cleaning here, and then, okay, let's just get on the sell train here, man. Like, come back to the floor, stalled out for 2 hours, wicking into it. See, the wicks are wicking into the wicks here in this 10-pip window. You notice that? Look at this drama. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Big fucking fight. All the way back to the... But it's not always perfect. It overshoots. Sometimes it comes in. Sometimes it doesn't make it back to the floor. That's why you need the scalps in there, because you'll just never survive it. Like here, you're going to sell this. You're going to sell that. It doesn't quite... You could sell all this shit and then sell the top of that, come back. Sell the top of that, come back. That is the best trade on that. That is more pips to me in a shorter period of time. So it's actually fast money. There, I said it. That's what I really want to say. I'm into like very quick money. Just in and out. Like, right? If you want to buy this plunge here, cash out, buy like unbelievable amounts here. You're like, dude, I'm buying so much. Are you fucking serious? This one day, like this, you just once it left the station, it's one day. 250 pips in one day. And so I cashed out here. I bought this, cashed out. And this, you just couldn't. I mean, this is actually, when U.S. markets open, you're like, dude, look out. So I put tickets in super deep and I never got filled. I had tickets down here that barely got filled. But I had to drop very large, very widely spaced tickets to do this trade. Okay, we got 5 minutes before 9. But here I'd be buying like this, right? I'd just come back again, do the same thing, and like, okay, maybe it goes lower. If it takes out the lower today, which I've seen it happen, you're like, dude, no, really? Yeah. Like, I don't know if you ever traded the yen, dollar yen, but here you'd be like, okay, let's buy, yeah, I like that concept. Buy below European session. And then buy a ton here. But now, this is happening. This is 3 hours straight down. Never took a look back. Down 200 pips, you know, almost. I mean, you're almost buying. This is 100 pips on this black line's 100 pips, but it feels like 200. It dropped so hard here, but you got to load the wagon here, and you got to dump. I would say, I would dump 50% of the position here, and maybe you decide you're like, oh, just take the whole fucking thing off. So this is the discretionary trading aspect. The limits get you in there, but you still want to make a decision as far as Holy shit. When you hit this lonely wick here and they loaded the wagon, you're like, okay, trade it to the floor on some and maybe to here, but that's fine, right? I'd rather get out here and then have sell limits above here. So every day there's a trade. I'm not waiting for some fucking moving average. It's so stupid. It's like, yeah, look at this thing. It's all my ATRs are bad. I can't trade it. Like this. That's what this goofball no nonsense is doing to people. Well, I just guess there's no trade. There's always a trade. You got to adapt to the fucking situation. Yeah, I don't know. Built this sailboat here with these sail. Yeah, dude, it's a storm. Don't you have a storm boat? Well, no, I just built this. I back tested this thing, waiting for a good wind. It's like these dicks with the solar panels and the fucking windmills. Yeah, what are you doing? It's fucking ice storm. Well, let's not talk about that. I got a contract here. I'm a green fucking tree hugger, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my way. So here I'm compelled to come in with the, let's just buy all the way down, go to sleep, and then be prepared to buy a pant load down here for at least this high probability scalp. That's my recommendations. That's all I can do. But yeah, fix the scale. My recommendation is fix the fucking scale because you can't even believe how deep the market is. And figure out how long you want to be in the trade. Look at this thing. Is this climbing up here? Here's what trend traders are getting in like, well, at least they should be getting in. If you think it's going up, like here you go, I think it's going up. Well, then just buy on limits in the back vacuum. So you have buy limit, cancel, replace buy limit, now you get filled. Buy limits, you get filled. You could, if you're an aggressive trader, you could buy every fucking pullback. Oh, I bought that. Look at double bottom, I bought that. I guess you could buy here. But then I got to cash out, you know. I got to cash out somewhere because I don't want to be buying here and like pyramiding in, like, which I never would want to do. This is what Bill Williams is talking about. Oh, you buy more here. It's good. Yeah, but look at this fucking pullback. You're not going to be up in this trade. You may have been up on this part, but you're going to fucking load the wagon on this shit. Oh, dude, if you don't get out, when they start trimming the treetops here, if you're going to scalp against the so-called trend here, you're a counter-trend trader, the trade's going to be like this. So there's a million fucking trades on here. You're going to sell new highs. You're going to cash that out. You're going to sell new highs. And not quite back to here, but not bad. You sell these new highs, you're going to make that money. You sell here, you're fucked. You don't really even you don't make it back to here. But if you sell up here, and you sell and you sell and you sell new highs, you're getting filled on all these now. Nice trade. Very nice trade. I mean, you stand in front of, like, if you're really aggressive, you're like, dude, we sold here, but you're down fucking like $3,000 on this thing. So if you don't scalp this, scalp that, I just don't see how these people are doing it. It doesn't make any sense to get in these fucking giant, 2% of my account. Are you fucking nuts? Well, yeah, and then I put, so 2% of your account, how? And you're stuck in one trade? Yeah, well, I got a 30 pip stop. I'm in a 30K, and if they stop me out, geez, wow, Joe, fuck. It's like bobbing for apples with one jaw. Just like you just have lower teeth, upper teeth only. You're bobbing for apples? Okay. Good luck, buddy. If you zoom in like this, it's really disorientating. It's the best medicine. Figure out how many pips you want to make. I want to make about 100 pips. Okay, what's that look like? Holy shit. When the yen, it's pretty insane, right? Be like, yeah, let's trade the breakout, even a breakout strategy. Let's trade the breakout of, this Asian session here. Now, this would be the dumbest fucking trade you could do. This is goober shit. I put a buy stop here, and I put a sell stop here. Whichever way it goes, I think it's going up. I'll put a buy stop here, but just in case I'm wrong, I'm going to put a stop here. Oh, actually, maybe put a stop here. So you put a buy stop here, and you're going to put a stop there just in case you're wrong, and it goes up. Look, I made money. Yeah, how'd you feel about when you got filled here and it fucking came down to here? You're in a standard lot? Okay, so you're only down $500. Well, that's cool. Not for me. I don't think I want to do that trade. Well, I put a buy stop, confirmation, entry. Oh, look, it went up. Higher highs. Shut the fuck up. Higher highs. You better have your fucking finger on the trigger, you dumb shit, buying every 1 hour pullback here. If you really think it's going up, yeah, you gotta work it. You buying this shit? Oh, yeah, put a buy stop here, did you? Let me see. Where'd you put your protection? Well, you're going to risk 75 pips here? Well, yeah, look at I stayed all the way to here. Oh, please, get the fuck out of here. And I back tested this strategy. That's what kills me about this shit. And then what really fucking just blew my mind, I didn't think I'd see it. It kind of reminds me of, like people transitioning. Dude, you're a fucking dude. Sorry, you didn't win that. You didn't win that one. Remember that chick had that song "Born This Way"? Yeah, you're fucking that way. Yeah. You can't wish it away. God, it looks like somebody didn't like my chart. They said it looks ugly. It certainly does. It's not those pretty candles. Candlestick. Fuck these candlesticks. How much have I fucking tortured my brain? I better memorize all the patterns so I could be a real trader. Holy shit. Look at the wicks on this puppy. 3 hours of punishment. Just bam, 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 bam. Oh, fuck. And then one more pullback, right? You think, oh, no, look. So this is the big problem. I think people just don't realize how brutal the volatility is. You're in a trade, right? See, you're pretty clever, right? You waited till it came back to here. You waited to be just like right within just 10 pip window. Oh, I just bought, loaded the wagon. Really, how much did you put on that? Well, $1 million position. Dude, it came back there. You could have bought a 10K. You could have refreshed it. You could have just put limits in and just every time it pounded, just have limits. Don't really coming back there. Never pay more than even the floor price. Never. I buy a couple at the market. Yeah, it closes below the floor, I'm pulling the trigger. Closes below the floor, I'm pulling the trigger. If a robot can see the floor. Here's the floor. Right? This is a low. Or the basement. Every hour it closes below there. I'm fucking buying that. But look at it, comes down and goes even fucking back there again the next day. You're like, what the fuck? I don't know if you've ever been in these trades, but you're like, I just made 100 pips and now we're back here? Wow. I mean, do these people even care? No. This is like slam dance shit. Now, I get it. You're this trend trader guy and you're going to buy here and you're going to buy here. I'm like, look at the money I'm making. Yeah, but dude, I'm just saying, even if you bought here, if you didn't scalp something on that, you're just the I don't know who these people are. Somebody please present me these people. Like, I don't know, maybe I just don't have the patience. People will draw a trend line here. They say, well, trend lines don't work. I love this. It doesn't work. Dude, it doesn't even matter because you're presupposing you put your stop at that your 2% of the account fucking bullshit works. That does not work. I don't know. I mean, not if you want to make a bunch of money. I mean, consistently make money from logical shit, not this Gartley patterns. It's just so funny, man. That's just like the Gartley patterns. That's like this hope and change fuckers. Oh, very joyful. Hard work's good. Yeah, nice workout at the gym. Yeah, you're getting all pumped up. You're feeling healthy, right? Ready to punch your neighbor. That's what I'm into, yeah. You motherfuckers in these goddamn golf carts and this. Stop it. I'll put a cease and desist order on that. That's 5-minute chart. We got to check the 5-minute chart. 10 minutes to Wapner. Okay, I want to buy this pullback on the 5. So I can, like, so if I had to be disciplined at least to only trade at the on the 5-minute chart. That's my how's the yen doing? So I just look at the pips. Here it's like, okay, we got this whole place to mine now, and I never looked to the left. I mean, as far as the problem with the moving averages is it makes you look to the left too far. You know you're in the abyss here. If you go to the 4-hour chart, you're like, dude. Now the 4-hour chart on the yen, it's tough sledding. The trade plan has to be that if it comes cutting back down hard, I'm buying. If it goes cutting up hard, I'm selling. But you got to have like a 200 pip stop for some of these moves. And look at this thing. Does it make any difference? Like, look at this. Now, I know people want to do this and go, well, yeah, okay, well, I see that. Oh, this is a good buy here. Dude, you have no idea. If you're in that trade, like, it feels like this to me. Like, this is it. Holy shit. Look at this thing. New high now. Certainly to look left, all you have to do is go to the daily. Go to the weekly. You see how preposterous the price is, right? It's just preposterous. Look at this, where we're at. On the monthly, it doesn't fucking matter. Let's look at the weekly. It doesn't matter, dude. That's what kills me about ICT. Look at the weekly charts. For what? That's fucking insane? This is the weekly chart. Dollar yen. Please make this make sense, as the kids say. Make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. So the half-hour chart makes sense. It is so fucking wild. The 15-minute chart makes even more sense to me, because I'm only looking for pips. So I'm thinking like, okay, this thing could drop all the way down here tonight. Like, it could just drop like a rock into this. So from my way of approaching it is, well, I'll just buy, like, I'll start buying below this double top that'll probably be destroyed. Right, this double top. And this is where people are supposed to buy. Top becomes a bottom. They buy here, happily ever after. But I suspect we'll probably come down to here. I'd start buying like a whore below here, and then I would just buy like a super whore degenerate down here. And I just put them in for 8 hours. Wake up. If they're not filled, I'd be like, okay, well, let's put a tight pack in here. Maybe we're only going to get this. I don't know what's going to happen because it's the holidays tomorrow, but U.S. market's closed. I mean, this thing goes nuts, right? There's nobody holding the other side. The trade goes nuts. But that's the way I look at it, you know, so these kind of trades. Here you had to be, so if you're going to buy this drop, this is the 15-minute chart. You start buying on here, you got to take your 20 pips. You got to take your 20 pips. You got to take your 20 pips because here you don't see it. It just crushes. So you got to take your, and here it starts to be like, okay, these are some good range trades in here. And this is a lot of pips, very quick, very fast money. It's 15-minute chart. Bing, 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 bing. So you got to have a trade plan. And the trade plan for me, the only criteria that matters is how wide is my stop. I know I'm buying because it's a buy ticket. So if I buy here and I have a 100 pip stop, well, I just got taken out there. If I buy here with a 100 pip stop, just got stopped out there. If I buy here with 100, I'm still holding. Buy here with 100, still holding. Comes back 100. Okay, it's a break even 100 pip trade. But think about putting in dense fucking tickets down here. Load it and dump. Right? Why would you load it and dump? Where do you dump? into the floor of the last known session, into these wicks. Heavy buying here, cash out. Heavy buying, cash out. Super heavy buying, cash out. Maybe you're going to sell above this. I put sell limits up here, but then are we going to go whooshing up? Probably not in a straight line. So even though it may seem like I was telling my friend about these trades, and he said, why don't you just sell? I go, dude, I'm not going to, because I'm committed. I'm just committed to buying the plunge. I know it's brutal. I mean, I'm down $3,000, but what am I going to do? I just have to say, we gotta scalp some of this stuff. So even though I think in the end we're going to go up here and come to here, I mean, the swing part of my brain says, well, dude, just put in a 300. No, I want to put a 300 pip stop. I'm not going $30 per ticket. I'd rather go $5 per ticket, right? And I could do more tickets and I can have more shit. Now here looks like a good buy at the market a little bit, but you know they're coming down here. This is the most vicious. Like, what if we take out this tomorrow? Well, I definitely want to have tickets down here for tomorrow. And the only way I'm going to get in here is a 15-minute expiration, half hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour tickets are down here. Daily tickets down here, maybe 12 hours. You know, how tight are the stops on your market orders? You know, 20 pips is not much. You're just going to get cashed out. How big are you trading on these market orders? Now, these are certainly viable scalps to the last known. Here, this is a great pivot, you know, or a great structure. You could make money here for 2 hours of dicking around in this 20 pip range. You know, like, how big are you trading? Like, so this is a great place to make money. And these zones are created by the crush. And as soon as you came through this floor, it's like, oh my God. And now it's just a matter of playing it. Like, say for me, it's going to be buy. I'd like to buy. So I'm either going to buy the yen, but to trade the yen, you got to be fucking very wide space. You can't put in dense packs because on the limit side, because they're going to blow you out. Now this is this is a very fast trend here, and of course, if you can jump on this thing, you would sell every fucking rally, and you would be doing great until it got choppy down here. But your window of making money on the trend is here, the initial breakout, where I'm accumulating the crush. Because even if this thing's going down, I'm like, what if this is going to just go like that? And I just don't like doing this. I don't like going with the trend because I just hate trends. I figure they're short-lived, and I'd rather sit back and wait for it to crush into the limits. I guess I'm trying to be as conservative as possible because it'd be easy to get too excited. Half-hour chart. Okay, the 1 hour chart is about the best way for me to view it on this summit. Normal res on here, 1080, because the fucking 4K is just ridiculous. It's like looking at DNA strands or something. It's too much. So okay, this view to me makes more sense. I can see the trade and I know how long it's going to last, and I don't. If I put my initial buy limits in here, I'll be like, dude, we'll be out of that trade in like fucking like 15 minutes. This is all this shit, just bam, 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 and it's just fantastic. And how often do you catch that? Of course, that's a European session. Here's a narrower window. This is a greater trade. Certainly not, you know, if you're going to buy this, this is pretty rare. if you normally buying a 10 pip window, 20 pip window, then well hell, you'd probably be disappointed that you only filled a 10K here, but you still made money. Whereas here, if you're going to buy a lot, the deeper it goes, this is the better trade. And you would say, well, why don't you just load the wagon on this one? Well, you could do that. Or you're just looking for this big home run. Because unless you're clever enough to say, well, if they just nick the European session, that's a different kind of trade. Like here, they just take out the European lows. See how this? You take out that it's a fake breakout of Europe. U.S. market, the news comes out and rips the other way hard, right? Here's Europe, comes down, rips the other way. That's probably the best trade. Here it never tags it, but it does plunge off of that. Here it doesn't quite work out. You don't get filled here, but you do get a nice fill here and a nice thing here. This one there's no fill, maybe till Asia. This one no fill. So you miss out on this giant move here, and the argument is, well, you should have put a buy stop in here because then confirmation would have picked you up. And so can you have it all? You could trade it all, a little bit of each. So you have to have enough dry powder to do every idea. That's why I'll never trade bigger than $1,000 per position because there's no flexibility in that. You can't try on, you can't change, you can't do halftime beat out of nowhere. You can't just change the rhythm up and just be like, oh, I'm ready to trade like a fucking scatterbrain, like there is no trend, because that's what all these are about. This is like 80 pips of bullshit. Just obvious, like, okay, 4 hours up, 4 hours down. The market's not going anywhere until it's finally breaking down. Yeah, Joe had a trend line out here and it finally broke it. See how that works? You gotta wait. Gotta wait for this. Fuck off. Wait for that shit. I'd be fucking dead. Well, Joe did die. Yeah, he was waiting for that setup. We found him in front of his computer. He said the moving average. He put trying out new moving average. He said, just gotta wait, man. I'll kick in. He said, gotta be patient. You know, he said, you gotta be very patient. I said, I'm not patient. I'm impatient. I'm a patient, actually. Like an insane asylum. The price action insane asylum. The yen's supposed to be going. They said the Bank of Japan's gonna fucking start issuing bitcoins. I love that stuff too. The fundamental traders. That's another thing. You just blow your brains out. Well, fundamentally, you know, there's a carry trade. I don't know what the fuck you call it, dude, but it's fucking. I just want to make a few pips and get out. It looks like the yen is going to tank, though. She's good. Look at she just that last rally. You should have sold that. Now it's just going to tank like a whore. Look at that. There she goes. Bye bye. See ya. What do I be? Bye now. It's just too much. It's all too much. Look at this candlestick chart here. So you have to be ready to buy the plunges on the candlestick chart. Look at this, one dead cat bounce. That's the weekly that's the weekly euro. 50 pip grid. Look at this thing. You went like 100 pips into the lows of last year, ripping back. But now we'll go back to the noisy. This is pretty profound. Just like this. Look at it. You take out this, and there's a big thing, and then bye-bye. Wow. And when it took out this was a big deal. So now I suspect we could drift up a little bit, but then it's just going to be back to business as usual. I suppose after the storms come through, usually it gets quiet. Typical, right? I'd say so. Typical kind of like, oh, the storm's gone. It's safe to get back in the water. Oh, the yen's going to tank. Bye-bye. Look at this thing. This is a beast. Yeah. And not really not even a sell on the supply zone here. That's why if you're just going to sell because it's going up, you'd be underwater. Actually, if you sold everything from this, you'd be like, dude, we've been selling into the whole thing and this is my profit, right? That's the other thing. It's just a million ways to do it, but I would definitely be selling. Okay, we're short like about a 1.5 standard lots by here. I'm cashing out to here, and then maybe it does plunge here, but I'm probably not going to stick around maybe till here. Depends how fast. If I wait till the bottom of the hour, wait till the top of the hour, be like, oh, just hold on, hold on, wait till 9:30, wait till 10 o'clock. I don't know if there's news coming out, maybe. That could affect it too. Anyways, that's that. I could go on forever, but that's that for the for the moment. Just markets are on fire, I mean, look at this fucking yen. So they go to the daily, it wipes out the. Look at the daily yen. Look at this thing. That's my sell trigger. So I can see my trade immediately. As soon as I look at the chart, I'm like, yeah, that's my entry. That would be anybody's logical entry. Yeah, above this wick, oh my God. Sell above that one. This is crazy. Buy like crazy below here. So I started saying, we got to start buying this thing for something. Something like this. Just to need the bounce, man. Just give me the bounce. That's all I need is that bounce. You see what I'm saying? They say buy in on pullbacks. Get in on the bounce, man. Dead cat bounce, you got to take your profits and run.